At what point do you even know that like you're ready? There obviously everybody wants to, right? Like I said, like I feel like everyone's destined to have someone in a pair. But like, how do you know after dealing with the narcissist and all of that that you're ready, apart from trying to manifest for it and be positive?
Well,
No.
you check with your higher self, right? That would be the first thought. And then your subconscious mind should start to give you dreams. You should start to get messages about it. You should start to feel more comfortable about it, right? Like you should just like because that's a good thing for everybody to practice. If you want to know the next person that you're with, ask for a dream about them. See if you can meet them in your dreams first.
You've always told me that, and I have, and I've and I literally have like no dreams.
I don't remember my. Okay, so finally, someone else. I don't remember my. I hardly ever remember my dreams.
Well, sometimes when you have a dream about them, you might not know until you meet them. And that's when you remember, right? Or that's when you recognize it.
Oh,
I don't know.
So,
That hasn't happened to me at least, so I don't know.
but it's a good, like I always say, do it in your dreams because it can get you prepared to meet them. So if you are nervous or you're afraid or, everything else is getting in the way, then it kind of gives you a way to prepare yourself before you're actually in the situation. That's the nice thing about it, like, and especially if you're creating your person and it's not just the next one, you know what I mean? Like you're very serious about it, then there's that part of you that takes it very serious. So you're going to want quality people that come into your life, right? Even if they have to be stepping stones, you still want better quality, not quantity. So
don't we
being
have to
prepared,
run through the quantity to get to?
but it doesn't mean that you have to date them all, right? Like you may not have to date them, but you probably have to meet them, or you probably have to, like Carol said, she saw the widower person and said, nope, not doing it. So there still has to be that, okay, I learned this, or I see this quality in this person that I don't want. Or if it's the opposite for you and you need to see the good qualities in people, right? That sometimes what we had in our head or sometimes what was perfect for us can't be the next phase or isn't that, that is something's missing. So there needs to be that proof that it is out there too. So it's like whether it's the good side or the bad side of it, you may just need a little proof that there's more or that there's hope, because that's the exciting part, right? Like creating what you want, that's exciting. That's why I say write it down, and you tell your subconscious mind, I'm serious about that. Like that is actually a big deal to me. I really want that. And you may find after you get it that it's not that big of a deal, or maybe you find that that was actually perfect. The lady, and all she really wanted is she loved to read at night, and she wanted somebody who would read with her, but she never, I think I even said it, because she couldn't imagine having that. She didn't come from the world where that would ever happen. And I think I even asked, well, why don't you just pick somebody who likes to read at night? Or you pick somebody that wants to read to you, because that's nice. And she couldn't, it took her a long time to even imagine it because it was so far from what she could accept, even though it's what she really wanted. So a lot of our stuff is us being able to accept it. I mean, there's an awful lot of people in the world. So you writing down exactly what you want is like just like we were talking about in the movie, right? It's like a calling card. It's like a letter. It's saying, okay, I'm ready for you. You're it. And then, one day they grab it.
I mean, what if one day is like when I'm 85 and dying? What's into that?
Well, I hope that it's not. But if it is, you're going to have a very, very well lived, fun life up until then and lots of stories to tell them.
No, well,
Yeah.
then fuck him. I'm
One
just
of
gonna go
those
ahead and keep my stories to myself. He took too long. He doesn't get the benefit of me and my life and my stories. I had to go live and do it by myself.
screenplay just in the last 10 minutes for Michelle.
Sorry.
No, I mean, it's like the perfect movie. I see you at the at the little club doing
Yeah.
your rummy and saying,
It's like the anti-notebook.
right?
He finally comes back and I tell him to go fuck himself. Also, sorry about the language. I have truck in my mouth.
I had one of those dreams. I had that dream and I remember it vividly and it still haunts me to this day. And the last two guys are sort of a mixture of the physical look from that dream. But I had just broken up with somebody in 2006. I had just gotten sick, had the tumor, had the hysterectomy, lost the house and everything. And I was so devastated. And I was just like, when is somebody going to love me? And I was literally sitting in a chair and had a dream and woke up freaked out. It was so vivid. We were talking about my book even before, like, yes, I love the color blue. And the funny thing is I just did some laundry. I know I'm kind of skipping around, but I just did some laundry. And when John brought my things back from his house, he was Mr. like bougie golfer, like that kind of life. I never owned a plaid shirt. I bought a plaid shirt actually for him, or like, is that a, yeah, plaid, right? That's how you say it? Because
It is.
I love plaid and like all the fall stuff and everything like that. And in the dream, he was wearing a royal blue plaid shirt in an office talking about my book. And like, I just knew that was the person. And it's weird. The last two guys kind of looked like him. And I had always light skin, light hair, but I had always dated dark haired, people before that. And I'm still convinced that that's the guy. I guess I need to write that down more. Because like was it you or that said I'm ready, or was it Michelle? Like, now I'm ready. I feel like that's now I'm ready. Yes, I may be 55, but now I'm ready.
Well, and Carol, I think part of the reason that you got that when you did is to remind you that there's hope, right?
Because
Don't give up.
I stayed single for 15 years almost until, basically, I met Andrew, and yes, I went to Scotland back and forth, but like, how real was that really compared to then I met John? So like, I was technically single for 14 years. So I had that dream, but I was single all that time, and then met John, and then, or not, excuse me, yeah, broke up with Paul, single for a long time, then met John. But like you said, between Paul, Andrew, and John, stepping stones, and each one was better than the other. I hope that was to give me hope.
Yeah, like don't give up, right? Like we get psychic information for two reasons. One is to prepare for the future, and the other is to change it. So if you like it, right, so don't change it. But if you don't know why it's there, it's to prepare for the future.
And what I was trying to say when I did the laundry, what that statement was about is that in the things he brought back to me, the plaid, he brought the plaid shirt and the scale that I left at his house. And I didn't realize until a month later, I was like, oh, you piece of shit, touche. But like, because I had lost 60 pounds, right? He thought, his way of being like, you bitch, this is what's more important than us. That's why he brought the scale back to me. And I already had one, and he knew it. That was so stupid. And I'm just like, I'm so glad I left you.
So that's interesting. He brought back the plaid shirt, right?
He wasn't the one. He brought back the plaid shirt.
Ta-da! He wasn't the one.
It wasn't blue, it was red, but
Oh, that's funny. I had a red one in my head, like a lumberjack shirt. That's funny. But right, like there's the message, right? He brought it back.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't think about it that he brought it back. He's not the one. I know he's not the one, but I only like literally when I pulled it out of the dryer yesterday, I was chuckling. I was like, he can't even keep a plaid shirt. That's so funny. I'll use it as a jacket.
Well, and a reminder, right? There's something better coming.
I guess
There's
so, yeah.
for you, right?
And I love
Like
jackets.
if there's something that you want, no matter what it is, if you weren't supposed to have it, you wouldn't desire it so much, right? It's like that desire, that wanting it really bad is the only thing that will usually keep us going enough to see it through.
Even the second stream of income when it's going to take away possibly from my book.
So how much, well, we'll have to see, like how much does it actually take away from your book versus
Correct.
how much does it take away the stress that you have from not having enough income.
Correct. Because maybe that stress is going to go away and it's going to open up your creativity so you can finish your book.
Exactly. And that's 100% where I'm at right now. Because even though he's been gone now for several months, yes, I've taken classes. I'm still taking classes, and I'm still working with my writing partner, my BFF, and all that. But I'm not super like, I'm not belting it out like she is. And just, I know it's the fear of ending up homeless in my truck with my dogs.
That can do it.
What?
That can do it.
Yeah, that, like, I'm just trying to keep that at bay. When Michelle was asking, like, that's why I forgot it always like on her, I didn't see her this week. A couple, I think, that gets on, or
Oh yeah, Natalie and Elliot.
yeah, I think it was her that talked about it last week. And now that I'm remembering, and I just that's why I decided I've got to start manifesting again, like, because my mind isn't strong enough to try and just think it. I have to put it down concretely.
Well, remember, you want to write it down. You want it separate than all the thoughts that you have, because if you get really good at manifesting, you don't want every thought that you're thinking to come true.
And like, what was her name you said?
Natalie.
Yeah, like she talked about, or was it her, or was it about all the little positive affirmation signs around the
Yeah,
house?
yeah,
Oh,
that's her.
yeah, like I've got my believe sign right on the fireplace mantle. I just got this other one that says, please be mindful of the energy you bring in the space, that I hung up. And I got one this weekend when my mom and I were out that says, know your worth. I'm putting that shit everywhere. I'm putting it everywhere. I'm leveling up.
Yay! But that's what you want. As you shift and change, the people that you're going to bring to you are going to shift and change, right? They're either going to match you if you're already with them, and they're going to have to go up with you, as close to the same speed and pace, or you're going to have to get a different one.
Or I hope, like Michelle said, that like and you, that like my obsession about the second stream of income, that I know you said I could just try it out and see if it works, and not, then I move on. But I'm really kind of like excited about it. So I'm hoping that if it manifests into something realistic and fruitful, then it will free up my mind and my energy to focus on sitting down, butt in chair, hands on keyboard, and writing more during the day, and doing some of my job that I am supposed to get paid for too.
That does ideal life. Yeah.
What?
That does sound like your ideal life.
Yeah. Right?
It does. But if we all got everything that we asked for all at once, I don't know how any of us would handle it.
Well, and that's just it. It's like, I was even talking to a lot of people in my community and my friends and stuff like that on lives and things like that. And like, yes, they've changed the parameters so that now I'll be eligible. But yet it's taken me a year to understand everything about the process, about what to do, what not to do, how to have a presence online, how to, talk about things and do things that, like, I wasn't ready. Even 6 months ago, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready 4 months ago, 3 months ago. Like, now I'm ready.
And now the opportunity presents itself, right?
And it blew my mind when 3 different people from 3 different parts, different communities that I'm in were like, oh, this is happening. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay. All right.
So Megan, that's how you know when you're ready, because all of a sudden opportunities start presenting themselves.
But do we take advantage of it? Whether it's dating, whether it's a stream of income, whether it's any opportunity. If we don't do the work, are we failing, or I don't know. Like,
if you don't do the work, would you even notice? That would be the question. If you don't change, if you don't work on yourself, if you don't take care to work with yourself, what would you even be able to tell?
But I think also, like, the first step, right, Jen, which is what you often say, is like acknowledging that you have been through certain XYZ and you have to change XYZ, right? Like, we're all here, and I think that's a big step, no?
Yes, like I wasn't talking about you guys. I was just saying, right? Like if you didn't work with yourself, you probably wouldn't notice, right? You'd have no idea that some of those opportunities are there because you wouldn't be able to see them, right?
Yeah.
Like the other dimension or the different states of consciousness, or like, if it's not vibrating, if you're not vibrating where it vibrates, you're not going to see it. But if you are, right, then you have a choice. And that's what we're after. We're after the choices. Because when you have the freedom to choose if you want to do it or not, it's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different feeling versus saying I can't, or I wish I had this, or that never works for me, or you'll never have that type of thinking versus saying, do I want this? Is this right for me?
yeah, because that's what I'm doing. When I got sick in 2006, and I vowed never to buy a house again. I was going to just be an old lady in a trailer. I was scared to own anything. But now it's the conscious decision that, like, even though it doesn't feel like it right now because everything was given to me so quickly that I'm a little bit behind, I still feel like this is a gift and I can't screw this one up. Even though last time I got sick and I don't technically feel like I screwed it up, but I'm smarter now about how to financially plan. Even with the car that I put, that's his, that I put in my name, my dad's died. I was like, oh, okay, pay all the bills off so that like you have zero on your credit cards and everything, and like get it all down. But then also like, well, I have nothing because of where I came from with John and everything. I have nothing. I have nothing saved. If the AC goes out, I have nothing. Now I have the potential, yes, to pay some of that down to make sure I get, once the title comes, once, you know, pay the car and the house up to date and pay some of the credit utilization down. But like, I should save some in case the AC goes out or something happens. I just feel like it's a smarter move now. I'm understanding. And I know these are skills that maybe you guys, and I'm sorry to sound so kindergartenish about it, but I have never had these skills at all well in my life. And so just trying to pay bills on time is a chore for me because, like you said, I have to write these manifesting things about how I'm on time and I am organized, and I'm going to start writing those this week and see how they help because I've never been on time for anything. Not an appointment, not a bill, nothing. And
So
yeah.
there's a download called Be On Time.
What? There's a
There's a
download?
download, yeah, to Be On Time.
Okay.
That will help.
Well, and like the other one you said about, what was the, I have my glasses on.
So like that's the thing with the downloads too, right? Because you guys all work with me or we have class or something, right? But if your conscious mind has not caught up or is not where the downloads take you to, a lot of people will reject them or you won't even catch how much they've changed you, right? Like you guys all want to work on something or want to change something or want, you know. So when you listen to the downloads, you have an expectation and you're ready for it to change, like Carol's ready to be on time, right? She wouldn't freak out and reject it. So that's another thing with the downloads. It's like you're processing stuff. That's your subconscious mind doing everything for you automatically, which is awesome, right? But the conscious you has to be aware and part of it too, right? So that's where you guys are actually ahead of the game, even if you don't realize it. That's why significant others, if they didn't like the downloads a whole lot, that could be why. I was just thinking about that.
They didn't stick with them, you mean? Yeah. Because John didn't stick with them.
Mm-mm.
And it's so funny, when he was seeing you, he was a totally different person. And I warned him. And I don't know if, again, if I was like manifest destiny, but I was like, we're going to run into trouble if you stop going to her. And sure enough.
But you can only go so long, whoever you are. If you don't realize that you have a problem, right? If you're the one that doesn't want to change it, if you're going for somebody else, it can work for a while, right? And if you're a super people pleaser, you may really work. But if that person isn't ready to take responsibility or to make those changes, they literally can't keep doing it, right? They can't keep coming. Because at some point you have to say, I'm responsible for this and I want to change it.
Yeah.
You know, and anybody out there that had significant that drinks or does drugs, that's a great one because they usually don't want to change that. So they'll get all the way to that point and then they'll shy away from it. So make sure that when you're writing down your perfect person, have them match all those hobbies that you have or match those appetites, right? Like if you're a drinker, then create a drinker. If you're not a drinker, don't create a drinker. If you're a foodie, create another foodie. Like how much more fun would it be to have somebody that likes to eat, right? If you like food, then get somebody else who likes food. All those little things, it's the daily stuff that matter, right? It's the big stuff that we think about, right? But it's the daily stuff that make up our lives. It's the everyday little things that we create happiness and a great future or we don't. So it's like paying attention to those little things, you know. That's what we were talking about earlier about, do you write down everything? Well, those are the things that make up who you are in your life. Like Michelle wants somebody who wants to do family stuff. If you get a person that's not a family person, if you get like a workaholic, you know, because everybody has different things. So if they're a relationship person, then they can either be a friend relationship person, so their friends come first. They could be a family relationship person where their family comes first, or they could be a couple relationship person where the couple comes first, right? Hugely different in how you prioritize and how you spend your time. And so much easier if you have somebody that has that same priority that you do. Doesn't mean they have to, right? Everybody can have different stuff, but if you can choose in, the perfect world, if you're a family person, pick another person that's a family person, because they're going to be so excited to meet your family and they'll want to fit in, right? So like subconsciously or unconsciously, they'll try harder because that's their priority too. Where if they're just the one-on-one relationship person and that's more of what you are, then they're going to try more and focus more on you and the relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So think about ease too when you're creating your person. Like, what would just make your life better and easier and nicer? Would it be having somebody to cook dinner with? Would it be, like where would you notice it the most? What would bring you the most joy? And let it be fun, like it should be exciting and amazing. And if you have trouble imagining it, listen to It's Too Good to Be True, because that's what that's all about. And people are fun to create, whether it's a work person, whether it's a relationship person, people are fun to create. They hear us, like if you're creating a shirt, you still have to do a whole bunch of the same kind of stuff, but it's an inanimate object, right? It's not going to shift and change as we change. It's different. But creating people is fun. And it will be interesting to hear what they say when you tell them that you created them. All of a sudden, it got very quiet. Any comments, anybody?
Just listening.
Same, just listening in.
It's exciting, even if it feels stressful and hard sometimes. It's still our lives. And as we get more in tune with us and, tweak our brains and our stuff a little bit more, then we get better and better things that suit us. There's a really good one. It's called Fix Your Picker. And that one does people, clothes, cars, houses, whatever. It's so you pick things that are the very best for you. And it helps you change old patterns of if you used to not pick such a great stuff for you, this changes that. If what you used to pick worked, you'd still have it, But just remember that person that you want or you're searching for in any aspect of your life, there's a part of them that's searching for you too. Because it wouldn't make sense if they didn't.